Hello friends, this is Netrali Patil from Arihan College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Bavdhan, Pune, Department of Computer Science. Today we are going to learn about Computer Science, Paper 1, Chapter 1, Operating Systems. In this session, we learn about operating system, services in operating system, Windows NT, Linux, file system, file operation and allocation method. Let's see one by one. First of all, what is operating system? As all know, programs are written for execution, but if we do not know how to operate computer system, then written programs are of no use. We must have the environment within which user as well as other programs can do useful work. How this environment is provided by operating system is discussed in this chapter. See, in this diagram, an operating system is a program which acts as an interface between user of a computer and computer hardware. It provides an environment to run other programs also. It makes system convenient to use. It also performs basic tasks like input and output management. That is, it helps in using hardware in efficient manner. Okay? And computer hardware is at innermost level. Operating system is at outer level to that of computer hardware. Application programs are at outer level of the operating system. While users interact with the computer hardware through application programs and operating system. Okay. Next one is services in operating system. There are different types of services in operating system. First one is information management, second one is process management, and third one is memory management. Let's see. First one is information management. It refers to a set of services used for storing, retrieving, modifying or removing the information on various devices. It manages the organization of information in terms of directories and files, allocating, deallocating the sectors to various files, ensuring right people have access to information, and driving various devices. Okay. Some of the system calls in this category are as follows. First one is create a file, second one is open a file, then next create a directory, after that close a file, then read data from file to buffer, then move to file pointer, read and written file status, create a link, change working directory, and write data from buffer to file. Okay. Then second one is process management. What is process management? If operating system supports multiple users, then services under this are very important. In this regard, operating system has to keep track of all the completing processes, schedule them, dispatch them one after another. But user should feel that he has the full control of the CPU. Some of the system calls in this category are, first one is create a child process identical to the parent, then terminate a process, next wait for a child process to terminate, then change the priority of process, after that block the process, ready the process, dispatch a process, then suspend a process, resume a process, delay a process, and fork a process. Okay. Then after that, memory management. What is memory management? The services provided under memory management are directed to keeping track of memory and allocating, deallocating to its various processes. The operating system keeps a list of free memory locations before a program is loaded in memory from the disk. This module consults this free list, allocates the memory to the process depending upon program size, and update the list of free memory. Some of the system calls in this category are allocate a chunk of memory to process and free a chunk of memory from a process. Okay. Next one is Windows NT. This is the architecture of Windows NT. Windows NT is multi-user, multitasking and multi-threading operating system. Multitasking is preemptive, that is, each task is given time slice. When that time slice is over, the next one is started. Windows NT features include virtual memory management, symmetric multiprocessing. Symmetric multiprocessing allows Windows NT to schedule various tasks on any CPU. Generally, tasks are scheduled on any available processors when tasks are broken into independent threads. Okay. Windows NT can interact with all existing networking systems like Novell's NetWare, Sun Microsystem, NFS, etc. Windows NT has a new high performance file system called New Technology File System, that is NTFS. Implements fault tolerance, security and has support for large files. And one more thing is Windows NT has a modular architecture divided into different subsystems and layers. At lowest layer is hardware abstraction layer. Then it provides all hardware specific system services. On the top of that is the Windows NT kernel. It provides basic operating system services. On top of kernel there are 6 modules which are listed below with their functions. First one is Object Manager. It creates, manages and deletes objects which are process. After that, Process Manager. It creates, terminates, suspends and resumes processes, tasks and threads. After that, Virtual Memory Manager. It manages the memory for processes. It also allocates and free memory. Then Security Reference Monitor. It enforces security policy and keeps track of file access rights based on ownership and permission for the user. Then Local Procedures Call Facility. It is used to pass messages between client systems and subsystems on one system. Okay, got it? Next one is Linux. What is Linux? Linux is an operating system that was initially created as a hobby by a young student, Linus Torvalds, at the University of Helsinki in Finland. Linus had an interest in Minix, a small Unix system, and decided to develop a system that exceeded the Minix standards. Okay. Linux is developed under the GNU GNU means what? General Public License, and its source code is freely available to everyone. There are different types of features of Linux. First one is Linux is network friendly, then Linux is multi-user, Linux is open, Linux is free. First one is Linux is network friendly. Means what? Since a team of programmers developed Linux over the internet, its networking features were given high priority. Linux is capable of acting as client and or a server to any of the popular operating systems in use today, and is quite capable of being used to run internet service provider also. Okay. Then Linux supports most of the major protocols and quite a few of the minor ones. Support for internet, Novell, Windows, then Apple Talk networking have been part of Linux kernel for some time now. Second one is Linux is multi-user. Means Linux is an implementation of the Unix design philosophy, which means that it is a multi-user system from the word. This has numerous advantages even for a system where only one or two people will be using it. Security, which is necessary for protection of sensitive information, is built into Linux at selectable levels. Okay, that's why Linux is a multi-user. Next one is Linux is open. Means what? Linux is open, that means that for the entire base system, which includes the kernel, the GNU tools and all the basic utilities, we as programmers and users have access to the source code as well as right to modify it. That's why Linux is open. And the last one is Linux is free. Means Linux consumers is free to modify the system and do anything he or she wishes with it. Okay, got it? Next one is file system. What is file system? The file system allows the user to define files and directories and allocate and deallocate the disk space to each file. It uses various data structures to achieve these. For information storage, operating system uses files. That information is stored on files. Files are mapped by the operating system onto physical devices. Okay. There are different parts of file system. First one is block, then disk, then floppy disk and hard disk. What is block? It is a unit of data which the operating system defines for the sake of convenience. Normally operating system also keeps all its data structures in terms of blocks. Then operating system would view the disk as comprising of number of blocks. From hardware point of view, a disk consists of number of sectors, but from the point of view of the operating system, it consists of number of blocks, where each block is having one or more sectors. Okay. Next one is disk. It is main secondary device. Various types of secondary devices are there, like floppy disk and hard disk. Hard disk can be considered as being made up multiple floppy disks put one above the other. Let's see floppy disk. What is floppy disk? A floppy disk is made up of a round piece of plastic material coated with a magnetized recording material. The surface of a floppy disk is made of concentric circles called tracks. Okay, and disk can be considered to be consisting of several surfaces, each of which consisting of tracks. The tracks are normally numbered from as the outermost track with the number increase inwards. Each track is divided into a number of sectors of equal size. Okay. Next one is hard disk. What is hard disk? Hard disk surface is also made of concentric circles called tracks. Each track is divided into sectors of equal size. The disk drive for hard disk and its read or write mechanism is shown in this figure. Okay. Now next point is file operations. General file operation includes create, read, write, rewind and delete a file. Okay. Now first one is create a file. Means for creating a file, first whether sufficient space is available for that file is checked. If it is available, entry for new file must be made in directory. Write to a file means for writing to file there is command in which name of the file is given, then operating system search for that file in directory entry and write to it. Okay. Then reading a file. For reading also there is system call in which file name is specified, then operating system searches for required file in directory entry and read it. Okay. Rewind a file means the directory is searched for appropriate entry and file is reset to the beginning of file. And the last file operation is delete a file means to delete a file, again directory entry is searched and if that file is found it releases the memory space and that directory entry now become invalid. Okay. Then next point is allocation method. There are two types of allocation, chain allocation and index allocation. ठीक है. For the allocation of disk space to various files, two major philosophies are there: continuous and non-contiguous. ठीक है. In this scheme, user estimate maximum file size that the file will grow to considering the future expansion and then request the operating system to allocate those blocks at the time of creation of a file. Got it? Let's see next. Chain allocation. What is chain allocation? This is non-contiguous allocation. So next block is traverse using pointer field which gives address of next block in same file. In DOS operating system, these pointers are kept externally in file allocation table. In this scheme, the block can have 512 or 1024 bytes. There are 3 files in our system. Okay. File A has been allocated blocks 5, 7, 3, 6, 10 and file B has been allocated block 4, 8, 11 and file C has been allocated blocks 9, 2 and 12. Okay. Next one is index allocation. What is index allocation? Index of block is maintained. It is externalized list of pointers Then the file directory entry should point to index. Index is maintained in various ways. For example, for a file, list of pointer is as shown in this diagram. See, index block is 12. It is specified in directory entry. In index block, all block entries for file are given. Okay, got it? In today's session, we'll learn about operating system, then services in operating system, Windows NT, Linux, then file system. It includes block, disk, floppy disk, hard disk, then file operations and allocation method. There are two types of allocation method: chain allocation and index allocation. Okay, so my dear friends, I hope you like this session. In the next session we will go for further things. Thank you.